All right, the lights are off on that Roseville Toyota Camry pace car. Matt Manolis is going to bring him down. Here we go, race fans. The quick quack 30 is underway. They sail it off into turn number 1. The number 20 car, Matt Manolis on the inside. The 34, Ralph Bailey on the outside. If you have not been to Roseville this summer, you've been missing weekly racing just like this. And this is going to be absolutely great.
Yeah, Matt Manolis leads lap 1. Ralph Bailey sticking right on the outside, almost 3 wide for the lead now as the 21 Manolis sticks his nose back out front of the 34 car Bailey. As they come around turns 3 and 4, it looks like Manolis is finally going to get clear of that 34 car, and he does. So Manolis solidly up front.
Side by side for second, that is Eric Price. We got the Price and Price law firm out there racing. Eric in the 57, Chris in the 51. They're side by side for second. Might have been a little wheel fed right there, dirt style out of turn 4.
Eric Price takes over the second spot from Ralph Bailey. Almost contact between Bailey. There is some contact right there off turn 2 between him and the 05 of Corey Engelhart. Engelhart gets by him. It looks like almost not quite clear yet.
Boy, the way they run right now with Engelhart and Lyons, Lyons would only win this thing by 1 point. So they are very close together on the racetrack, and Chris Price in that 51 is very hard to pass. He doesn't do anything wrong, but he's a hard-nosed driver, and so Nick Lyons, if he needs to get around Chris Price, that may be hard to do. Battle for the lead.
Yeah, battle for the lead is shaping up pretty good. Here comes the 57X of Eric Price underneath, pulls up alongside the 21 of Manolis, and Eric Price will lead on lap number 6 right there. New leader, the 57 car. Second spot is Manolis, third is Engelhart, then it's the 51 of Chris Price and the 34 Ralph Bailey.
Side by side for that 5th spot, Ralph Bailey and the 43 car, Nick Lyons. Lyons just has to keep the 05 at Engelhart within 4 positions, and he'll be the champion. He gets around the 34 of Bailey. Great side-by-side battle behind them as Tyler Wentworth battling with the 46 of Doring, and a battle for second. There's racing all over the track.
Yep, Engelhart just gave the chrome horn out to the 21 of Manolis, and we got a big wreck off turn number 4 there, Steve. The 32 car goes around as well as the 76.
Yeah, that's Don Shalla in the 76, Tyler Mulliken in the 32. We get a reprieve here on lap number 8. We will count the first 2 laps under caution. So that'll be lap 9. Next time around will be lap 10. And wow, great start to our modifieds. I'm sure there's a lot of people in the grandstand that have not been to Roseville this summer. 12 cars, about our average field size on the modifieds. You can see the excitement level, the side-by-side racing, the passing, and what this race means to these drivers here in the Quick Quack 30. And these are all your local NASCAR home track heroes. And the guy trying to be the big hero is Sacramento's Eric Price, who leads the way.
Fantastic to see a majority of this crowd sticking around for these final 2 main events tonight. Obviously, everyone came here for the big show, the K&N Pro Series West, but we are so thankful that a lot of you have stayed here in the grandstands to watch the modifieds and the Pro Late Model Feature event, which is definitely going to be a good one. 2,000 to win, 18-car field.
Yeah, that RT Painting 50, want to thank Rick Terry for that. Kind of the preview for the $10,000 to win. JM Environmental 150. We'll take this opportunity to thank JM Environmental. They do asbestos removal, lead abatement, mold abatement, and they're your demolition specialist. There's a reason they secure bids all over the state of California, government work, things of that nature, $1 million bids, because they deliver things on time and on budget all the way. Self-made company from the ground up. Could not be prouder to have them as a sponsor here at the All-American Speedway. And they'll be presenting that $10,000 to win race on November 2nd, where we're expecting north of 30 late models. If we have a B main for the late models on November 2nd, that B main is going to pay $500 to win for the non-transfers. So that'll be its own race within its race. As looks like they're still sorting out the lineup. Our NASCAR officials, led by Frank and Sharon to the left of us, have done a great job this year. And that's why we have these close points battles, because we have great officials here at the Speedway.
And going back to JM Environmental, a ton of money been pumped into that race that's coming up here in a couple weeks. And, you know, I've been seeing a couple things on Facebook with the Southwest Tour Series, and I think it's something like a $25,000 race next season, and a 3-race bid between, I think, here, Stockton, and I can't remember the other track, but a whole bunch of stuff going on from John Moore and those guys.
So I'll speak to that real quick, is we're going to have the Southwest Tour twice. We're going to have them in May and in September. If you were here in April, I know you were here, Chase, the crowd was awesome, the car count was awesome, and it was a really good race between Doss and Derek Thorne. Well, we liked it so much, we thought we'd double it up. So we're going to have two different $7,000 to win 127 lap races. And mixed in June, they're going to go to Stockton for 227 laps for $10,000 to win. So we're going to have a couple of very big SRL races in this area next year. But right now, we got a big modified race to settle. Looks like Price will be inside of Manolis for the restart.
Yep, still 20 laps remaining here in this modified feature event. Pace car is going to pull off into the infield right here off turn number 4. There it is, looking for the green flag from Kenny Newberry up in the flag stand, and there it is. Green flag is out, and we're racing back to turn 1 side by side up front.
Lions got kind of jostled there just for a little bit on the restart, and that's going to allow Engelhardt to pull away and go up the inside of Chris Price.
Yep, Engelhardt to the inside of Price. Now Price gets back by him. He'll clear him down there in turns 3 and 4. Now slots back in line. Engelhardt going to have to go to work and try and make his way back by that number 51 car down the front straightaway. Here comes the 43 Lions now to his back bumper, though.
Top 2 in the points, battling mano a mano on the racetrack. You really can't beat that. Here in Roseville is Eric Price pulling away. Manolis in second. Chris Price in third. Chris Price, he hasn't had an easy time getting around Matt Manolis, and you know, for Manolis, this would be one of his best performances of the year. He has 0 top 5s this year. And right now, he's running up there in second on their biggest night of the year so far.
Yeah, I would not have ever guessed that he didn't have any top 5s. He looks like a normal competitor up there in the top 5. That's how he's running tonight. We're 14 laps in. He's had a good run so far, running up in that second spot. Just behind him, Chris Price, Corey Engelhardt, Nick Lyons.
Oh, and they got tangled up.
Oh, look
out.
Oh,
no, it takes out Engelhardt. Oh, no. That's a frightening incident for Derek Doring, and we are red on the racetrack. Back away from the fence, ladies and gentlemen. Away from the fence immediately. Derek Doring is climbing out of the race car, and that is the best news of the night, race fans. And Doring, who ran that 150-lap race earlier tonight and was probably feeling how worn out he was. He ran 146 laps, and then another 14 tonight. So in this modified race, so Doring, the Iron Man of the night. And it ends early for him. Tough break.
I mean, wow, that was one of the most spectacular incidents I have ever seen. I mean, when you flip on pavement, Steven, that is never good. I mean, I come from the dirt side where we see a lot of flipping, at least one a night, but on the pavement, that's not something that you see too often. And with these open wheel cars like this, I mean, it's pretty easy to hop a wheel and get up in the air like that. And we saw he slid, I mean, clear from the build.
From the restarts.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he was slid on his roof for, I mean, a good, 150 feet right there.
More than that, but you'd probably say about 250 to 300 feet. And, yeah, that's the thing on dirt. You start to dig in a bit. On pavement, you get that sliding motion, and you end up kind of being a bobsled where you're just a passenger. And this is just going to be a mess down there. Once again, all the race fans by the fence, there could be hot fluids on these cars. None of you guys have safety gear on of any kind. And we want you to be very, very careful down there on the front straightaway, race fans.
And the weirdest part to me, Stephen, was that Derek Doring, he wasn't even involved in that first accident there. It was a completely separate accident. I saw the 21 of Manolis come back up the racetrack heading towards the outside wall, and I was thinking, this is not going to be good. And then sure enough, like 10 cars behind him, we had a car flip in a completely separate incident. I mean, I didn't see what happened, but just an unbelievable series of events there.
Well, we like to kind of look at the scoring and try to figure out who was who, and you look at all the cars that were in his vicinity, and they were all kind of in a soup back there. You had cars such as the 34, the 46, the 33, the 32. None of them looked too worse for wear. I think the most damage, the left rear of Ralph Bailey's car looks like that may have been where the launch was. So absolutely crazy incident. Bailey was 7th. Doring was 8th. That may have been the spot where they came together. You know, if you're turning left, coming on the exit of the corner because they're telling you there's a wreck at the top of the track, and a guy's on your inside, and he launches a wheel, and that's probably just about what happened there. Turn 4 is the narrowest part of this racetrack, especially with that high line. That exit is the normal apex and rotation of that corner puts you may see down there, race fans, the 43 and Nick Lyons. That's where it places you. So there's not a whole lot of racetrack outside of him. So if you're at full speed, it's very narrow. It's like a car width by the time you come together. And it's like the exit of Turn 4 at Irwindale, I'd compare it to. And there are some torn up race cars. And, you know, that JM Environmental 100, real quick, the modified race was scheduled to be a 50-lapper for 1,000 to win. And that's going to be a real tall task for a couple of these guys in just 3 weeks.
Yeah, definitely got a lot of repairs for several of these drivers. Obviously, Derek Doring with a ton of damage. The front end, clearly a ton. I saw a spring come flying out of that car when he came to a stop. I mean, there's a ton of damage on that thing. But for those race fans that don't come here too often, maybe it's your first time here at the All-American Speedway, something like this probably would have never happened in the late model division. Obviously, they have the fenders on the outside of their tires, and so with these cars right here, once those two tires hit each other, and they can climb over the top of each other. With the late models, they can't do that because they've got those body panels right there that really keep them, sucked inside the race car, so to speak.
Yeah, a couple of years ago when the late model race here was a touring series race, we had Randy Hedrick, who's in the field tonight, in fact, get kind of into the wall coming out of 4 and ended up kind of up on top of the wall the whole length of the front straightaway. But he was not inverted, no. We have had a couple modifieds get inverted here in the last year and a half. So it's happened before. Ralph Bailey, I believe, was the modified that got inverted here about a year and a half ago. You know, for Ray Molina, who just won our F4 title with an undefeated season, he ended the year on his lid in that car about the same place where Doring is sitting and proceeded to repair the car and win 9 in a row. So you never know. It could look violent. It's kind of like at Tulsa, with the Chili Bowl. Sometimes they can look violent and they roll them right back over. Obviously, this isn't just a roll right back over. But you look at the way Molina came back from that with the same equipment. It can be done.
It definitely can, but I would have to think, in Molina's case with, a car like that compared to a car like a modified, Molina's car's got all the tires are covered in fenders, and I'd say a little bit more things are able to be broken on a car like this. So not really too crazy to me to see a car like a 4-banger or an F4 car flip over and keep on going.
That's probably a fun day at the races.
Yeah,
almost.
Yeah, that sounds like something you'd see at a Demolition Derby. These guys flip over, keep on digging. And speaking of Demolition Derby, I believe you guys have one coming up here in the next couple weeks. Is that right?
Yeah, next week during the Monster Truck Show. So there are 2 Monster Truck shows in one day. So at 2 o'clock, the Monster Trucks do all their same stuff they'll do at night. But we'll have heat races for the Demo Derby. We'll have heat races for the UTVs. And then at night, at 7 o'clock, we'll have main events. So it's going to be a really fun, both programs are very comparable, and it's going to be a whole lot of fun. And that's going to be next Saturday night, and tickets are flying off the shelves. You want to go to allamericanspeedway.com for that. Take an opportunity to thank our sponsors real quick here. Want to thank Folsom Ready Mix one more time. They provide contractors and homeowners with a consistent, high-quality concrete featuring the latest in technology. That's what you want, right? They have locations in Roseville and Rancho Cordova, not in Folsom, for Folsom Ready Mix. That kind of threw me for a loop a bit. Also, want to thank the Hilton Garden Inn Roseville, the official hotel of the All-American Speedway. There are a lot of hotel options in this area, and we prefer the Hilton Garden Inn.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, ready to get back underway here. The final 16 laps of tonight's Quick Quack 30 modified race.
This is going to be a run to the finish for the points. 16 to go. And, well, we don't have Corey Engelhardt, so things are looking pretty sporty. But what would be better than the title and the race win? Here we go.
Not much. That 43 car is looking to do just that. Nick Lyons to the outside, trying to get by Eric Price for the top spot. Down the front straightaway, Price has him at the start-finish line to lead on lap number 15, halfway home in this modified feature event, and Price will pull ahead down the back straightaway.
Wow, back and forth, and, you know, really Nick Lyons has nothing to lose. He'll be the champion no matter what, so why not go for it here in that Smog Busters number 43.
Fantastic looking race car there for that number 43 car of Nick Lyons. Third spot is the 17 of Tyler Wentworth, and then in fourth is the 33 Mike Gorham. And just behind them, a side-by-side battle for fifth between Tyler Mulligan and looks like the 65 of Niles Strever.
Hey, tip of the hat to Tyler Wentworth up to the third spot, and Mike Gorham in the 33. This is his first start of the year, and a lot of guys have upgraded their equipment. This series has really improved. Whoa, Niles Strever, sparks flying, and he loops it, and oh man, trouble. Car on the ground for Mulligan. He's broken like a tie rod on the right front or something like that.
Yeah, it definitely looks like a tie rod broke there on that number 32 car. The right front wheel just doing whatever it wants, and he's going to limp that thing off the racetrack in turn 2. Strever, on the other hand, is spun out and stopped over in turn 4. They kind of doored each other a little bit coming off turn 4, which led to that accident there.
Did I mention earlier it's a full moon?
You did, and it's definitely showing here tonight with all this crazy stuff that's been going on.
It's a full moon. It's been a wild Saturday night. It looks like Strever might be able to continue. That doesn't, I'm not sure what caused him to go around, because that doesn't look too severe on that race car.
Yeah, they definitely got together there, and Strever kind of probably wheel hopped off the ground a little bit when it set it back down. It kind of transferred the weight over or something there and just kind of spun him around. But unfortunately for the other driver involved in that one, who was the 32,
yes, 32
Tyler Mulligan, yep, right front tire ripped off of that thing almost. So his night is surely done. He's probably back to the trailer. Still got 10 laps to go in this one. Eric Price doing a fantastic job up front in that number 57X car. Nick Lyons in second, Tyler Wentworth in third, Mike Gorham and Matt Manolis back to fifth after being involved in that huge accident on the front straightaway, so a good rebound for him.
Kind of unbelievable that he's been able to come back from that, and of course right alongside of him is the 34 car, Ralph Bailey, so they're all kind of under a blanket. That's going to be some good racing all the way down to the wire, but this race for the lead, Nick Lyons was really trying to challenge the 57 of Price, and he's got 10 more laps to do it here at Roseville.
Yep, the lights are out. Pace car going back to the infield. And this 8-car field will go 10 more times around here in the Quick Quack 30 for the modified. Back to turn 1. A good restart for the 43 in the Lions.
Nice restart for Gorham as well, the driver out of Lincoln, as Streamer's got, that car is crab walking. He's going to crab walk out of the ballpark as they're side by side for the lead. Wow, it's close. Very close. The scoring monitor says the 57 of Price.
Yeah, Price is going to nose ahead down the back straightaway, but the 43 Alliance drives it in deep to the top of the racetrack in turns 3 and 4, sticks right with him on the outside. Down the front straightaway, your leader still Price, and now Lyons drops back behind him.
Lyons falls in line behind Price, and Price, look
There's
at
a cone on the front of the 33 car. There is a cone literally on his car.
I think you might be right, but I think it's lodged in there going for a ride. That's the cone can here at the All-American Speedway.
Oh, that's not a cone?
It's the front end is just flipped up.
What the heck?
So he's getting to read his own sponsor as he comes down the back straightaway. As there goes the 34 of Ralph Bailey
You
up
gotta
the
admit
inside.
that looked like a cone.
He did. Whoa, 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 slipping and sliding. And 3 wide. Oh, boy. Oh, man. These guys are racing their hearts out for the final points race of the year. You can tell what it means to these drivers to be a part of this race.
Yeah.
5 to go.
They're either going to win it or they're going to wear it. I'll tell you that right now. But nobody's got anything for Eric Price up front. He's pulling out to a half straightaway lead over the 43 Lions and the 17 of Wentworth. They continue to go at it back and forth for fourth.
Side-by-side racing there briefly. Manolis, it's a real tough break. He got tied up with Chris Price. He was on his way to his best career finish, and he's showing, even with the battle wounds, But that was a strong hot rod tonight, and he'll probably be a little bit disappointed as he's probably going to have to settle for 4th. And this time by 2 to go. 2 more trips around All-American Speedway.
Yep, Eric Price doing a fantastic job up front. Has held off multiple attempts on the restarts from the 43 car of Nick Lyons. Tyler Whitworth lying in the shadows back in the 3rd spot, car number 17. Then it's Manolis, and a good battle for 5th between the 34 of Bailey and the 76, or actually, sorry, the 33 of Gorham, as the white flag's out for your race leader.
One more time around Roseville for the 57 of Eric Price, trying to get his first win of the season. And at turn number 4, he will win the Quick Quack 30. What a drive tonight. The 43 of Nick Lyons comes home 2nd and wins the Limited Modified Championship. 3rd for Tyler Wentworth, who will wrap up 3rd in the standings as well. Great night of racing here in Roseville.
Yeah, all kinds of action all night long. Great finishes, cars upside down, battles left and right. It's been quite the night here at the All-American Speedway. And ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We've still got the 50-lap, $2,000 to win Pro Late Model Feature event coming up next here. 18 cars scheduled to take the green flag. You see that pace car over there in turn number 3, ready to lead him onto the racetrack. Here in just a moment, we'll get those guys out here. But a quick victory lap for the championship. The 43 Nick Lyons will win the championship here for 2019 at the All-American Speedway. Looks like Kenny Newberry's down there going to give him the checkered flag, and he's going to do a little victory lap here for his championship season.
He's going to celebrate that hard-earned championship before we get things going for the RT Painting 50. How about it for Nick Lyons? And race fans, stick around because we're going to introduce all these drivers. We're going to interview them and find out what made their season so memorable when this whole program is over. Man, are you ready for a 50-lap late model race? That's going to be a dandy tonight.
Yep, 18 cars are going to come onto the racetrack. I think it's going to be a fantastic event, especially with that 6-car invert going to put Jeremy Doss back in the outside the 3rd row. And in my opinion, I think he's going to be probably the guy to beat. I mean, he's been really good all season long, whether it's here at All-American or if it's at Madera. I think he was there a couple times, if I'm not mistaken. And he's a threat to win every time he comes onto the racetrack.